Hello everybody, hello for Machine 2, and today we'll be taking a look at Chucklesome trucks. Anyway, this episode actually takes place on Sodor. Yay. Because that obviously gives it some points. But we'll see if it's actually good or not. So the episode begins with this amazing establishing shot of all 4 engines, where each engine tries to get a job that Chucklesome has given out. That is until they find out what the job actually is, which is to pull some troublesome trucks, and of course the main cast, Thomas, Percy, and James, duck out. There's a reason I say the main cast, because Rebecca will never replace Henry! Anyway, Rebecca ends up taking the job, and she is honestly clueless. At the sheds, all the engines begin talking about the troublesome trucks, and Thomas, Percy, and James give off their own experiences from classic episodes, which is a nice wink wink at the fans, so I really appreciate that. However, I still miss Henry and Edward. I'm not going to give that up, Mattel. I'm not going to give that up. However, all the scenes are pretty nice, and they're, I would say, pretty accurate to the original source material. So, thumbs up from me. So Rebecca's like, you're all just being a bunch of babies, and she goes to sleep while all the other engines all together have the same dream sequence, which is kind of good, because it puts all of the memories from the past, like Percy takes a plunge and Thomas and James all together, and it was going so well until the part where she runs off a ramp at Branham Dock. So that was probably the dumbest thing I've seen. Just look at how the trucks fall. What? Why did it wiggle at the end like that? This is a cool transition scene though, not gonna lie there. Now, Rebecca then takes her train and pulls it, and the troublesome trucks basically try to push her, and they're singing about it and whatnot, and it ends up not working. Instead, everyone else gets confusion and delayed, like James or Percy and Thomas. Now, the problem I have with this is that Thomas did the same thing back when he was a new engine, where he didn't listen to Edward, and that caused him to, hit buffers. Rebecca is doing the same thing as Thomas, but in this episode, she's like rewarded for it. So I just don't understand what the deep meaning or lesson that kids are supposed to learn from this. Also, the train that was pulling the tar tankers that James crashed into, that engine was Henry. No one can tell me otherwise. That was Henry. And the worst part was that they didn't even acknowledge him. They, not even a line or a whistle or like a gas, nothing. They've used Henry's model in almost every episode this season because they're just so cheap. But then when they actually have actual Henry, there's nothing. It's like Henry's literally become a background character that they just recolor for different countries and railways. Like, what? Henry didn't deserve this. Well, anyway, to finish off the story, Rebecca delivers her train fine, while Thomas, James, and Percy get scolded at by Sir Topham Hatt for basically worrying about Rebecca, and basically there's a joke at the end where he's talking about how everyone made a mistake besides Rebecca, and then Rebecca hits Winston. Haha, so funny. And that's basically the end of the episode. So what are my overall thoughts on the episode? Well, it was
April Fools, jerk. You stink!
It was something. I do like the homages to the old classic episodes, although I still kind of don't understand what the lesson's supposed to be. Ignore your friends' warnings and just YOLO it? I don't know. I mean, for the most part, I like the episode. I like the troublesome trucks and how they're back. And I like Rebecca. I like all the characters. And still a shame not to see Edward and Henry in the sheds, but I'll let it slide. Aside from that, yeah, I think everything else is pretty good. So, on my rating scale, I'll give the episode a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's probably the best episode I've seen from season 23, which isn't really that much of an accomplishment. So yeah, with that, I'll see you all later. I just hit my elbow.